markets are never going down again, and welcome to Bubba's Daily Update. Todd Bubba Horwitz with you, and what's going on, everybody? Well, here you got it. Another update. Markets opened higher last night, and the Sunday night futures were down pretty heavy overnight, and at the end of the day, here we are, records across the board. It's an amazing stat, and of course, maybe we'll get the Dow 5 trillion because they keep telling me that the stock market has created 5 trillion in wealth, but what they don't tell you is that it costs $4.5 trillion to get there. I don't think that's a very good return on investment, but what the heck, here it is. Markets are going up again, and again, we're not going to fight it. I say this every day, right? The markets are doing what they're doing. We're going to sit and watch. Again, volumes were once again pathetic. When you look at the overall picture, you look at volume, volatility. Now, interesting thing today, the VIX was higher into a market that was higher. NASDAQ was once again very strong, but anything else was not as strong. You had crude oil that was exploding higher on, supposedly on all this Saudi Arabia crap. I don't know. Again, I think it's more like a blow-off pattern. We are short and not doing very well with it at the moment, but again, I think that that's something that, you'd look for it to be a trade that we'd be looking at as one that we'd want to probably make. I think that when you look at the overall picture, this is really more of a farce than it is a real rally. But we'll continue to watch and we'll continue to be ready to go. Gold made a dramatic turnaround today from being a little bit lower and up about 14, 15 bucks. Again, if you watch that gold, that 1260, 1270 level has held like a champion every single day. Somebody had sent me a note today about, what somebody else had said. I won't use the name, but they called for 400 gold. And there's another person calling for 10,000 gold. So who's right? And I wrote back, I said, look, at the end of the day, anything is possible, which is why you never take too much risk on one asset class. You never put, more than 5 or 10% of your overall risk into one trade or into one investment. It doesn't make sense. And that's the same reason that Jeff Bezos sold $1 billion worth of Amazon, because he's got too much of it now and he needs to take some of the money off the table. But as we look at this whole scene, again, the markets make new highs, and we're not going to say they can't. They can continue to make new highs. As long as the market stays slow and as long as they continue to dribble or drift, they will drift most likely higher. We've got not a heck of a lot of real data this week. Interest rates are starting to fall a little bit again. You've got a big problem and a big argument with the tax plan. And again, I don't think it was very good to begin with. I think there's one thing that really should be asked, and that is, why are big corporations getting the 20% rate and the small guy only getting 25%? I don't think that's a very good deal. And that's where I think there's problems. And I think this also looks like it's more of a needle to the left, because if you look at where the SALT tax, the state and local taxes, are going, New York, California, Illinois, left states, okay, that's who's going to have to, not going to get those deductions anymore. But from the market perspective, we've got a market that just right now continues to want to go higher. You have no place else to go. The drift in the market, the overall view is that it's looking to work its way higher. Now, not every stock is going higher. Some are going down, some are going up. But one thing that's interesting, 75% of the rally in October was brought to you by the big tech, Amazon, Apple, Google, and so on. Now, again, we're not going to get in front of this thing. We all know that at some point there will be a correction. I think it's getting late in the year to assume a correction this year, because not that there will be a little sell-off, but again, you're starting to mount days. All right, we've got 140 some days of no move of 1%. We've got 200 and some days of no 3% sell-off. But at this time of year, usually Santa Claus plays a visit to the market. You get the Santa Claus rally, so it's not something that we're going to try to get in front of here. I think you continue to watch the key levels, and if you're going to play in the big markets, in the big indexes, all right, the S&P or the Russell or the Dow or the NASDAQ, you can only be a buyer on a pullback. You really cannot be a seller yet. It wouldn't be a prudent decision to try to short these markets in here. I think that's where we always run into the problem. We're trying to pick the top of the market or pick the bottom of the market. Well, it's a lot easier to pick the bottom than it is the top, because the top can keep going. The bottom can only go to zero. But until we get some real action, some real volume, I don't think there's any real reason to jump in crazily here. Pick a trade, pick a spot. Hey, set your stop, take your loss, no worries. But overall, there's a lot of crazy things happening right now, and a lot of the correlations that most people watch are not correlating the way that they should. Strong dollar, strong gold, strong oil. Doesn't make sense. Okay? But that's what it is, and that's why we worry about, people that try to trade the correlations, because the correlations are like the law of large numbers. They work over time. They don't work every single day. So I think the best course of action here is to look at some individual issues. If you can find one that you either want to buy or want to sell, no problem. You've still got some earnings coming out. But what we really want to focus on here is the art of patience. Observing the market and being patient is also a trade. Cash is a trade. So we don't have to rush into the market here. Again, if you see something that looks really good, then hey, go for it. But don't try to force overall trades, overall action. At the end of the day, it will not do you any good. You'll find yourself in a lot bigger troubles. So, again, not a lot to say because we're just kind of doing the same thing every day. But we do have Monday Night Football tonight. Green Bay Packers going to win as an underdog. That's my prediction. I'm pretty good at these. So we take the Green Bay Packers tonight. And, of course, for those of you who want to help me out with my high school program that we've been running for 6 years trying to educate our youth, you can go to Patreon, patreon.com/Bubba Trading. That's patreon.com/Bubba Trading. And, again, I'll do something special for all those. We'll do a special webinar and some other things. And make sure you get the Bubba Show every single day at libertytalk.fm, 2 to 3 Eastern Time. Until that, this is Bubba's Daily Update. We'll see you back here tomorrow about the same time, same station. Thanks for being here, everybody. I appreciate it. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Bubba's Daily Update.